Hello, hello, hello. I am in my backyard today and I am just working through all kinds of healing. And so these lives are really therapeutic for me to go back and look at myself and say, how do I feel about that? How do I judge myself? Am I afraid to put it out there? So I hope that you get good stuff from these, but I also want you to know that these are for me too and for my personal growth. So as you can see, I'm all hot and sweaty. So of course I thought to myself, I was just mowing the lawn, and I use it as a space to really kind of get my energy flowing and say, like, what am I thinking? I'm doing this very intentionally. And what am I thinking as I'm mowing this lawn? And so to me, I was having all these aha moments, and we kind of talked yesterday with Chloe about the different things that we're purging right now in our lives. And so I was kind of thinking to myself, like, I'm a pretty powerful manifester. I should have more money. Hi, Tracy, how are you? I should have more money flowing into me. So what's blocking my flow? And I'm so grateful for what I have, but I'm thinking there's something blocking the flow, because when you're in the right flow, it just comes from every direction, so unexpected, from these crazy places. And so I started thinking about giving and receiving. And I was literally, like I said, I'm sweating right here, but I thought, I've got to go talk about this message right now. So the thing that I want to read to you is about gratitude. And it says, it's really important to distinguish between giving and sacrificing. Sacrificing is generally for something. A sacrifice is only made to achieve something. And when you're sacrificing, you are giving in order to get. Whoa. So most of the time, I'm constantly like giving from the heart. But if there's an attachment in there that I'm not aware of because it's in my subconscious, that there's an attachment to what I will get back from it, even though that's not my primary piece of why I gave, you're blocking the flow. So this goes back to childhood for me. I remember I used to give and give and give. And then when people didn't give back to me like that, even though that wasn't the purpose of it, but maybe it was, I literally would feel heartbroken. And so, later on when a friendship goes wrong as a teenager and you're like, I've given you so much, and you realize, oh my gosh, at that time I thought I was giving it to you for the right reason, but truly I was giving it so I could be in a place of power later on down the road. So a little bit more, it says, when you are sacrificing, you are giving in order to get, and you are in ego mode that programs you to believe that you are important and special and deserving of something for giving. Ego wants to pump you up into believing and indicates that you are superior, as if your generosity sets you apart from others. Whoa, that blew my mind. Like, I never would have thought that there was a piece of me that had that attachment. But I can work through it. Hi, Carlos. I love you. But I can work through that thought and go, Kristen, it's all you knew how to do at that time. You were young, right? So then it said, giving means fostering tolerance and love through your sacred self is different, as if you cultivate a sincere sense of giving and stemming from your own gratitude and the gifts that have been given to you, you will experience the notion of giving and receiving is giving, and it's all in splendor. The experience of mindfulness of others is one of the most blissful experiences that we can know. Recall how exciting it was to give a present to your parents and your grandparents and the siblings. The gratitude you felt for their happiness equaled and may have surpassed your own excitement about receiving gifts. Why? Because you were receiving when you gave. So something for me that came up was like, what are these emotions that come up when you give to someone and then they hurt you later on down the road, right? So, it's okay. The important thing is to acknowledge that and say, you know what, maybe I wasn't giving from the exact space that I should have been giving, and what's the emotion tied to that? So if I were to go in subconsciously and say, you know, what was that number one cause that was making me feel like I was giving from the right place when I wasn't, I could test it, and so it's coming up with indecisiveness is what just came up for me. So indecisiveness, does this have to do at a particular age? Yes, between the age of 1 and 10. 10 and 15, yeah, 16. So this was indecisiveness, about 1 and 15. So is it 15? So about 15 or 16. Is it in regards to... So it had to do with the car that I had. Did it have to do with giving rides everywhere? Yeah. Not receiving the friendship. Okay, so it had to do with a car when I was 16 years old. So that kind of sounds crazy. I remember this convertible, right? So my subconscious remembers this. And there's this scenario between giving all these rides to everyone and then like literally getting left behind, right? So that seems so silly. But it's not silly because it's something that trapped in this head of mine, and it's been dictating how I give and how I receive. Something that's come up recently is that I give to people who are in need. And then when somebody who's not in need has something, I take. Oh my gosh, that's mind-blowing to say right here on this video. But I do it with my mom. Like my mom has an abundance, right? But just because she has an abundance doesn't mean she has to be the one who supplies, right? Yet I put myself in that situation. I allowed my mom to be the one who literally just gave, and I just took. So every time we go out to eat, she pays. Every time we go on vacation, she pays. And she's okay with it, but there may be a piece in her saying, I want to receive, right? So these are those moments of vulnerability and healing where you can go in and you can really say, what was my really underlying cause, the subconscious piece that I'm not aware of that was behind that? So I encourage you just to look at your relationships and what you're doing and learn the lessons behind them, because oftentimes if you don't learn the lesson, it's going to keep surfacing. But what happens in those moments when it surfaces, in that time that you're ready to receive the message and you're ready to heal from it, it's that moment that you literally go, oh, I understand that this lesson's coming to me because I've been this person before. I've done this before. So here I was like applauding myself like I'm a pretty dope person, but I've done these things before. But all I can do is love myself through it and say, Kristen, you're worthy of love. It's okay. You are recognizing it and you're healing from the lesson. And that's all what's really important with it. And when you can do that, you can heal yourself and you can heal relationships and you can heal others. So this is just a little bit of food for thought. Whether you have friends that are in business, whether you have coworkers, whether it's your family members, make sure that you're giving and receiving appropriately, like doing it from a pure space. So if somebody does a lot for you, give back to them. It doesn't mean that they were doing it for you to give back, but it's really nice to be able to give and receive. We have to be able to give as much as we are able to receive. So that's just kind of my little food for thought today. I'm drinking my affirmation water. I encourage you guys to do this. I can already see big changes. There's a new moon coming on the 11th, so that's tomorrow. And it's just really a great time right now to really indulge in these affirmations. You know, post that water bottle, like actually write out your affirmations, because I'm telling you, when you're ready to receive this message, you will see a difference in the shifting in your life, and it's a really beautiful thing. So, you know, today I'm a magnet for miracles. You know, I am love. I am unconditionally loved, and I unconditionally love others. I am in the flow. I am listening to my guides. You know, these are things that are really important. And when you start actually thinking that thought when you're drinking it and being intentional with what you are doing, there is massive healing to be had. Gifts come to you out of nowhere. Your intuition, your ability to follow your gut. It's a really, really blessed thing. So I hope you just get something from this, some value. If you're looking for some coaching or anything like that, or just kind of stuck, reach out. You know, all of us need somebody to inspire us, but we also have to come to a place where we're ready, and we have to value ourselves enough to say, I'm ready to step into that. It can be in career, finances, relationships. What is the energy that's bringing your situations to you? Because it's a reflection of you. So when something shows up, don't just ignore it or say, I don't like how that person was behaving, because oftentimes you can find something in you that was a part of you at one point in time. And once you acknowledge that, you can move on from it. So much love to you guys. Have a beautiful day. Walk in gratitude. Be kind, and be kind from the right space. You know, that's just something really important. Just be kind from the right space, and everything will operate just beautifully. Learn the lessons along the way. So have a beautiful day, and we'll chat later.